Hi guys, Tom Anderson, day 15 of 100 Days of Thankfulness. Today we're focusing on the importance of integrity, and I also wanted to give thanks to a good friend of mine, Dr. Rich Silverstein. He's the owner of Heritage Ridge Animal Hospital in Maple Grove. So yesterday I was talking about some of my experiences while I was going to college. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about just continue with my story where now I've graduated from college. This is 1992. I've received my degree in computer science, and I got my first full-time job as a computer programmer. And about that time, I was just moving to Mankato, where I was going to start my first job at CWC, and I was saying my goodbyes to my good friend Andrew Tassi, and he was sharing with me just a little bit. I didn't actually get to talk much with him about what it was or even have any sort of understanding of it, but he was getting involved in Amway at that time. So later, when we got together so I could ask him some questions to find out what is this Amway thing, he introduced me to Rich. And Rich is a really neat guy, and he's full of lots of integrity. At that time, he had already started his Heritage Ridge Animal Hospital, and I think he started that in 1991, so he would have been running it for about a year at this time, just kind of a new business owner. And what he taught me about really the integrity in business in general, what you'll find, and this is true whether you're talking about brick and mortar business or multi-level marketing like Amway, you'll find that there'll be individuals in pretty much any organization that have integrity, and there'll be individuals that don't. And so I'm so thankful that when I was first introduced to Amway, it was through Rich. And Rich is one of those leaders that was able to teach me these concepts of integrity and how to have that in the market. And really, what integrity comes down to, I probably don't need to belabor it, but what it amounts to is you'll have opportunities when you're running a business where you can choose between making a lot of money or making a lot of money and maybe not always in the best interests of your customers, or making a lot of money where you are always focused on the best interests of your customers. Obviously, you're a business, so you want to focus on the financial aspects, because otherwise you will no longer be in business. But there's really two approaches to it, and there will be times where you'll be tested, where you'll have a chance. I could make a little more money if I take a little more from them, or I could, make it so that I am developing the relationship and developing the trust, and then I have that customer loyalty and giving them the discounts and that sort of thing. Well, Rich was always of that concept of, I'm looking out for everyone who's on my team, and that's whether he's talking about his employees at his animal hospital, or he's talking about the distributors that got involved in Amway. And I saw, for me, there were certainly times where I really wasn't doing much with it, and he was always so cool about that, and we just developed a friendship. And the only time there was only once where I think he got a little upset at me, and it was because I was, without realizing it, I was being a little disrespectful to someone, and I was maybe asking him some rather personal questions in front of Rich that wasn't appropriate, and he called me on that afterwards and said, "Don't ever do that again." And so he has that integrity that not only is he just a super nice guy, but he's going to teach, or he taught me how to be a good leader as well. So I just want to thank Rich for that. Something else that was interesting about Amway was I was exposed to a lot of people that were Christians in the organization, and so just kind of continuing what I was talking about yesterday and how I've kind of come up with this concept that I believe I believe fairly strongly that there is a God. I don't believe there's a religion out there that has all the answers. But, this Christianity thing kept coming back. And, again, I was a little uncomfortable. And the reason Christianity was always making me feel so uncomfortable is because, even when I was going to college, there was Campus Crusade for Christ, and these would be large groups of Christians that would get people, or they'd get, say, one person, bring him to a restaurant, and they'd almost kind of gang up on him and get him to say those words, kind of like what, Casey, when he was, doing that with me, was much more laid back about it. But, I was witnessing, or hearing about at least, some situations where people were almost pressured into accepting Jesus Christ. So I don't want to be part of that. But what did happen as a result of being exposed by all these Christians, just happy Christians, and they were excited about their future too, because when you're in the Amway business, you're talking about your dreams and your financial goals and whatnot. And what ended up happening from that was I started just asking a lot of questions, and I just started thinking, this is silly. Instead of me going around and asking everyone about their opinion, about their beliefs, and getting to know their belief systems and whatnot, if I really believe in God, I should just ask God. If he's real, he'll answer. If he's not real, and so I just said my first prayer, and my prayer was simply, God, if you're real, please reveal yourself to me. And I wasn't expecting what was about to happen next. I honestly, when I said the prayer, I was just like, it's going to be like everyone else that has these unanswered prayers and whatever. But what happened next, I'll get into this more tomorrow because this is long. But I just want to thank Rich Silverstein again, just for how much he's taught me through example. Just one more thing about Rich, too. I haven't talked to him in, 17 years, so I'm hoping to just swing by and say hi to him again. But a friend of mine stopped by, and I know that he's doing well. My friend, by the way, was stopping by because he didn't want to drive 3 hours to his veterinarian to remove the staples from his dog, and so he just asked Rich, would you mind removing them for free? And he was like, sure, no problem. So there again, just another example of just what a great guy Rich is. So thank you, Rich.